your time of resolution.
My time of resolution?
This is the time when your fate is exactly in balance. It could turn either way. Oh.
What is it, please?
It is nothing, Sergeant.
Please, senorita, I have to know. What is it? What does it mean? The King of Cups. It is the card of death.
The Walt Disney Studio presents Zorro, starring Guy Williams.
Senorita, your dancing is worthy of Madrid.
Gracias, senor.
Don Sebastian, I do not believe you've had the pleasure of meeting Lupita. Senorita, a business associate of my father, Senor Portes.
Senor Portes.
Hey, won't you sit down?
Oh, gracias. I have not seen you here before, senor.
Don Sebastian is from Rancho San Joaquin.
May I tell your fortune?
Such nonsense is for children and peons. I wish your father would get here, Diego.
Well, while we're waiting, here. Tell me mine.
Gladly, senor. Ah.
Oh, what is it?
It is good fortune, Don Diego. The health card and the money card come right together. I also see a short trip.
Lupita, I can't wait to hear the rest of this, but right now, would you excuse us?
It is bad news. The coach for Santa Barbara will not leave for another 2 or 3 hours.
This I do not understand. You told me that the coach...
Wheel is broken. The blacksmith has just started working on it.
After all, it's not as if we were stranded out somewhere in a storm without any shelter. This place could be very pleasant.
I am not accustomed to staying up until all hours of the night. And even if I were, I would not spend my time in such a place as this.
I am sorry, Sebastian, but the fact that a wheel breaks on the coach, this I cannot help.
Don Alejandro!
Don Sebastian, may I present Sergeant Garcia, acting comandante of the Pueblo Los Angeles.
Don Alejandro, the blacksmith told me to tell you, the coach may not be able to leave for 5 or 6 hours. It is worse than he expected.
Well, in that case, gentlemen, why don't we sit down?
Oh, gracias.
One moment, Diego. I have an idea. You will be here, Sergeant, until the coach leaves. You do not plan to retire.
I had no thought about it.
Good. Let us turn the money over to the acting commandante. Let him put it aboard the coach as it leaves. And the rest of us can be at your hacienda, sound asleep.
Money? What money?
A little business transaction, Sergeant. Nothing to trouble you about.
Guard it well, Sergeant. It contains 1,500 pesos.
Trust me, Don Sebastian. Don Alejandro, I will guard it with my life.
Hey, Sergeant, if you don't mind the suggestion, I think you should put the money in your strongbox at the cuartel until the coach leaves.
That is exactly what I plan to do.
What are we going to do, Diego? If anything happens to the money now, we would never hear the end of it. And with Sergeant Garcia, hey.
I know what you mean, Father, but why don't you and Don Sebastian ride to the hacienda? Get some sleep. I'll keep watch on the sergeant.
Make sure he keeps watch on the money.
fortune in a pouch, and you had to be out here feeding your face.
And you didn't follow him to see where he went with it?
They took it to the quartel to lock it in the strongbox.
If you had been out there, you could have bumped into him or something.
Now listen.
Stop it.
Nobody could have pried that pouch out of the sergeant's hand, and you know it. We might as well forget about it.
Now wait a minute. Maybe not. The fat sergeant, he is stupid. That is my specialty. Handling stupid men. That is why I've always been able to handle both of you so easily.
Well, Sergeant, if it isn't safe here, I don't know where it would be.
1,500 paces, Don Diego. We will guard it with our life, won't you, Corporal?
Si, Sergeant.
Well, Diego, are you coming or aren't you?
The night is still young. I think I'll return to the tavern. Why don't you and my father just go along? Oh, Father, if you see Bernardo at the carriage, will you tell him to join me at the tavern?
See, Diego.
Well, gracias, Don Diego, for your and your father's faith in me. Although sometimes I feel that Don Alejandro does not trust me.
That's very good, Don Diego.
Gracias, Corporal.
What do you mean, very good? That was perfect. Corporal, be sure and keep a close guard while Don Diego and I are gone.
Hey, Sergeant, do you think we should both go? Aren't you going to guard this with your life?
Oh, I am, Don Diego, I am. But the corporal is here, there is a guard on duty, and we have a barracks full of lancers. Besides, the little one is waiting for us at the tavern.
Hey, Sergeant, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay here and practice with the darts. Why don't you go?
But if I went by myself, Don Diego, who would pay for it?
May I tell your fortune, Sergeant?
I do not have a fortune, senorita. I do not have a peso. I do not even have a centavo.
For such a gallant soldier of the king, there is no charge.
Senorita, I'm not sure that I should.
If you do not wish to drink, you do not have to. I am thirsty. Cut them with your left hand, Sergeant.
Well, maybe a little, just to be sociable. Gracias.
Why, Sergeant, how interesting. You are to be congratulated.
Gracias.
I see a grave responsibility. Something precious has been entrusted to you. Something of great value.
See, that is true.
The cards indicate pesos. Hundreds of pesos.
See.
I see here 500 pesos.
Only 500?
Oh, there are more cards to turn. There. 1,000 pesos?
Turn one more card.
1,500 pesos?
How can the little cards tell all of this?
The cards of fortunes tell all things. This very day, this very night, this is your time of resolution.
My time of resolution?
This is the time when your fate is exactly in balance. It could turn either way. Oh.
What is it, please?
It is nothing, Sergeant.
Please, senorita, I have to know. What is it? What does it mean? The King of Cups. It is the card of death. Tell me, senorita, what can I do?
This I cannot say. We must ask the cards. They alone know the answers.
Please, little cards, could you tell me what to do so I will not die tonight?
I see you have many friends, Sergeant. Many who are close to you.
See.
The cards indicate that it's one of your friends, one of your associates, someone you trust who will cause your death tonight.
Which one? Tell me his name.
The cards do not tell names, only events. The cards indicate that if you are killed tonight, it will be by the very last person you would ever suspect.
The last person I would ever suspect? Then he is the first one I will look for.
Where are you going, my friend?
The cards tell the sergeant to bring the pouch to you for safekeeping?
Oh, he is not that stupid. It took a little more scheming than that. But by tomorrow morning, we should have 1,500 pesos and be out of Los Angeles forever.
1,500 pesos.
Oh, Don Diego, little one, are you still here?
Oh, did you think we'd be gone?
No, that is to say, You may go now, Corporal. I will be here for the rest of the night. I hope.
Is something wrong, Sergeant?
Oh, no, Don Diego. Everything is fine. It is just that I have been thinking about my Lancers.
What about them?
It occurred to me, well, do you think they can be trusted?
Well, I'm sure that they're all very loyal, patriotic servants of the king. And very close to you.
Very close, eh?
You're like a brother to them.
See. Well, if you will excuse me, I will go and inspect the garrison for the night. Corporal Reyes? What do you think you are doing?
Just checking up, Sergeant.
How many men are on hand?
Well,
Never mind. Get the men out. Tell them to saddle up.
What for, Sergeant?
What for? Send the Lancers out to the mission.
To the mission, Sergeant?
See, tell them to stand guard until tomorrow morning.
What's gonna happen at the mission, Sergeant?
Nothing, Baboso. How could anything happen with all those Lancers standing guard? Well, hurry up, Corporal. Carry out my orders.
Something wrong, Sergeant?
Oh, no, Don Diego, no. However, I have been thinking about Corporal Reyes. You have known him a long time, Don Diego. Do you think he can be trusted?
Whatever else may be said about Corporal Reyes, I can assure you he's completely trustworthy.
If there was something, if someone was planning to kill me, do you think it could be Corporal Reyes?
Now, Sergeant, how could you say such a thing? Corporal Reyes is your best friend. And certainly the last person in the world you could suspect of such a thing.
The last person in the world? That's the way I figured.
Hey, Sergeant, what is it? What's the trouble?
Nothing, Don Diego. Everything is fine. Con permiso.
Yes, I know. In and out like a jack in the box. Go follow him, see what he's up to. I'm sorry, Sergeant. I didn't hear you coming.
So, Don Diego, it was you all the time.
What do you mean, Sergeant? It was me all the time.
You are the last person in the world I would ever suspect.
Suspect? Suspect of what? Now, look, Sergeant, I don't know what's going on here. But I don't like it.
I don't like it either, Don Diego. All the time I thought you were my friend.
Sergeant, I don't know what happened to you out there. Did you get hit on the head or something? Of course I'm your friend. Can't you realize that?
See, fortunately, I found out just in time.
Did you see Bernardo out there?
Bernardo?
Bernardo!
Oh, Bernardo. I think he went into the plaza. I was busy at the moment, but that is where I think he went.
I wonder why he did that.
I don't know, Don Diego. He didn't say. He couldn't tell me, even if he wanted to.
Sergeant, you stay here. Guard the money. I'll get Bernardo.
You can trust me, Don Diego.
stupid one. Where is the money?
Do you want this to go through the other side?
Here it is. I found it.
I told you we would get it.
Hurry, hurry, open it up.
Ha!
Move. On your feet.
Did I not tell you it would be the last person you suspected? And you never once suspected me.
Señorita y señores, take heed. Your fate bids me warn you. Beware of a dark stranger. Your time is at hand.
It is one of the Lancers. Go look for him. Get the horses, hurry.
Buenas noches, señor Zorro.
Where's the money? Get up. Get inside.
Let me go.
The accommodations are rude, senorita, but only temporary. Oh, come now. You can tell your friend's fortune for him. Sergeant? May your future be long and unclouded.
Adios, señor Zorro.
So the money's still safe, huh?
It never left the quartel.
Sergeant, you put up a gallant fight to save this money. My father will hear of this.
Gracias, Don Diego. You are very kind, but do not say anything to Don Alejandro. Please. You see, to tell the truth...
Sergeant, he's Chinese.
Then say something in Chinese I can understand. Chinese?
Mystery, action, and laughter are yours next week in Senor China Boy.
Corporal! He has caught me!
Next week, you'll relive an amazing adventure with Zorro.
Out of the night, when the full moon is bright, comes a horseman known as Zorro. This bold renegade carves a Z with his blade, a Z that stands for Zorro. Zorro, who makes the sign of the Z. Zorro!